Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I want you to settle in and get rid of any other distractions and just listen to this chapter from Wallace Wattles in his little book, The Science of Getting Rich, chapter 14, The Impression of Increase. Bob Proctor said this chapter will open your eyes to a beautiful truth that every child should be raised to understand and apply every day of their life. Chapter 14 explains that you can easily and freely give to everyone you meet that will win their love, their respect, and their business. Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, in chapter 14, The Impression of Increase, says, whether you change your vocation or not, you must direct your present actions to the business in which you are presently engaged. You can get into the business you want by making constructive use of the business you are already established in, by doing your daily work in the certain way. And insofar as your business consists in dealing with other people, whether directly by phone or by letter, I would say these days by text or by email, the key thought of all your efforts must be to convey to their minds the impression of increase. Increase is what all men and women are seeking. It is the urge of the formless intelligence within them to find fuller expression. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. Do you know that the universe is always for expansion and fuller expression? So you want to get into the habit of making others feel good about themselves. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. All human activities are based on the desire for increase. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure, more life. Every living thing is under that necessity for continuous advancement. Where increase of life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once. People instinctively know this, and hence they are forever seeking more. This law of perpetual increase is set forth by Jesus in the parable of the talents. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. The normal desire for increased wealth is not an evil or a reprehensible thing. It is simply the desire for a more abundant life. And because it is the deepest instinct of their natures, all men and women are attracted to an individual who can give them more of the means of life. In following the certain way, as described in the foregoing pages, you are getting continuous increase for yourself, and you are giving it to all with whom you deal. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Yesterday, I was reading the chapter on the first principle in the science of getting rich. And Wallace Wattles said, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. A person can form things in his thought, and by impressing thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Wallace Waddell says, "Be sure of this and convey assurance of this fact to every man, woman, and child with whom you come in contact. No matter how small the transaction, even if it is only selling a stick of candy to a little child, put into this action the thought of increase and make sure that the customer is impressed with the thought. Convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, so that all people shall receive the impression that you are an advancing person and that you advance all who deal with you. Also, give people who you meet socially the thought of increase. You can convey this impression by holding the unshakable faith that you are in the way of increase, and by letting this faith inspire, fill, and permeate every action. Do everything that you do in the firm conviction that you are an advancing personality and that you are giving advancement to everybody. Feel that you are getting rich, and in doing so, you are making others rich, that you are conferring benefits on all. Do not boast or brag of your success or talk about it unnecessarily. True faith is never boastful. Whenever you find a boastful person, you find one who is secretly doubtful and afraid. Simply feel the faith and let it work out in every transaction. Let every act and tone and look express the quiet assurance that you are getting rich, that you are already rich. Words will not be necessary to communicate this feeling to others. They will feel the sense of increase when they are in your presence and will be attracted to you. You must so impress others that they will feel that in associating with you, they will receive increase for themselves. See that you give them a use value greater than the cash value you are taking from them. If you always take an honest pride in doing this and let everyone know it, you will always have customers. People will go where they are given increase, and the supreme power, which desires increase in everything and which knows everything, will move toward you, men and women who have never heard of you. Your business will increase rapidly, and you will be surprised at the unexpected benefits which will come to you. You will be able to make larger combinations to secure greater advantages and to go into a more congenial vocation if you desire to do so. However, in doing all this, you must never lose sight of your vision, of what you want, or of your faith and purpose. Let me here give you another word of caution in regard to motives. Beware of the insidious temptation to seek power over other people. Nothing is so pleasant to the unformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power or dominion over others. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world. For countless ages, kings and lords have drenched the earth with blood in their battles to extend their dominions. They have not been engaged in an effort to seek more life for all, but to get more power for themselves. Today, the main motive in business and industrial world is the same. People marshal their armies of dollars and lay waste the lives and hearts of millions in the same mad scramble for power over others. Commercial kings, like political kings, are inspired by the lust for power. Jesus saw in this desire for mastery the moving impulse of the evil world he sought to overthrow. Read Matthew 23 and see how he pictures the lust of the Pharisees to be called master, to sit in high places, to domineer over others, and to lay burdens on the backs of the less fortunate. Note how he compares this lust for dominion to the brotherly seeking for the common good to which he calls his disciples. Look out for the temptation to seek authority, to become a master, to be considered as one who is above the common herd, and to impress others by lavish display. The mind that seeks for mastery over others is the competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not the creative one. In order to master your destiny, it is not at all necessary that you should rule over your fellows. And indeed, when you fall into the world's struggle for high places, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment. And then getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Beware of the competitive mind. No better statement of the principle of creative action can be formulated than the favorite declaration of the late Golden Rule Jones. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. When you spend time imagining your dream already fulfilled, your vision, what you want for yourself, it's not about taking it from another person. You create it out of your vivid imagination, visualizing it, getting into the frequency of the feeling as if you already have it. And then it appears. It's almost as if by magic. You practice the way you want to be long enough, it just becomes your natural practice, your natural, normal, personal way of being. Getting into the state of being happy, healthy, joyful, wealthy, abundantly blessed. Being in that state is totally different than noticing you don't have it. Spending time in quiet contemplation, in gratitude, in prayerful thanksgiving for having what you want will bring it into your experience faster than pushing and grinding and forcing and trying to make it happen. In The Science of Getting Rich, the favorite chapter of Bob Proctor's was chapter 7 on gratitude. And he says, this exciting chapter is the key to greatness. By following the basic advice for daily living that this chapter offers you, you will become connected to an infinite supply of good. You will also understand why the greatest producers in every profession seem to accomplish tremendous results with such ease. Applying these simple concepts will keep you connected to the source from which all blessings come. And that chapter is gratitude. The first step toward getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance. This is true, and you will see that in order to do so, it becomes necessary to relate yourself to the formless intelligence in a harmonious way. To secure this harmonious relationship is a matter of such primary and vital importance that I will give some space to its discussion here. I will give you instructions which, if you follow them, will be certain to bring you into a perfect unity of mind with God. Now you might say, God, Holy Father, infinite intelligence, source energy, higher vibrational energy. Tap into that, get connected, whether you pray to the God of your own understanding or just know that there is something greater, a higher power. Wallace Waddell says the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. First, you believe that there is one intelligent substance from which all things proceed. You might say God is the creator. Second, you believe that this substance gives you everything you desire. Everything comes from God. It comes through the workings of human hands. And third, you relate yourself to it through a feeling of deep and profound gratitude. When you pray, when you meditate, pray with an open heart, giving thanks for everything. Thanks for everything that you already have received and what's yet to come. In that state of gratitude, you become magnetically attracted to even more good. Wallace Waddell says, many people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. Having received one gift from God, they cut the wires which connect them with Him by failing to make acknowledgement. It's easy to understand that the nearer we live to the source of wealth, the more wealth we shall receive. It's also easy to understand that a soul that is always grateful lives in closer touch with God than one who never looks to Him in thankful acknowledgement. When good things come to us, the more gratefully we fix our mind on the supreme power, the more good things we will receive. And the more rapidly they will come. The reason for this is simply that the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into closer touch with the source from which the blessings come. If it is a new thought to you that gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe, consider it well, and you will see that it is true. The good things you already possess have come to you because of certain laws. Gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come, and it will keep you in close harmony with creative thought, and it will prevent you from falling into competitive thought. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the infinite and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking that the supply of riches is limited. And to think that the supply of riches is limited would be fatal to your hopes. There is a law of gratitude. And if you are to get the results you seek, it is absolutely necessary that you should observe this law. The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite directions. The grateful outreaching of your mind in thankful praise to the supreme power is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to which it is addressed. And as a result, God responds with an instantaneous movement toward you. Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you. That's a Bible passage, but it is also a statement of psychological truth. And if your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in the formless substance will be strong and continuous. The movement of the things you want will always be toward you. Notice the grateful attitude that Jesus took, how he always seems to be saying, I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me. You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, because it is gratitude that keeps you connected with divine, infinite power. But the value of gratitude does not consist solely in getting more blessings in the future. Without gratitude, you cannot keep from being dissatisfied with things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with satisfaction upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. When you fix attention upon the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean, your mind takes the form of these things. You will then transmit these forms or mental images to the formless, and thus the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean will come to you. To permit your mind to dwell upon the inferior is to become inferior and to surround yourself with inferior things. On the other hand, to fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best and to become the best. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. The grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best, therefore it tends to become the best. It takes the form or character of the best and will receive the best. Also, faith is born of gratitude. The grateful mind continually expects good things, and expectation becomes faith. The reaction of gratitude upon one's own mind produces faith. Every outgoing wave of grateful thanksgiving increases faith. The person who has no feeling of gratitude cannot long retain a living faith. And without a living faith, you cannot get rich by the creative method. It is necessary to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Do not waste time thinking or talking about the shortcomings or wrong actions of plutocrats or trust magnates. Their organization of the world has made your opportunity. All that you have received really has come to you because of them. Do not rage against corrupt politicians. If it were not for politicians, we should fall into anarchy, and your opportunity would be greatly lessened. Wallace Wattles finishes this chapter on gratitude by saying, God has worked a long time and very patiently to bring us up to where we are in industry and government, and he is going right on with his work. I believe that he will do away with plutocrats, trust magnates, captains of industry, and politicians as soon as they can be spared. But in the meantime, they are necessary. Remember that they are helping to arrange the lines of transmission along which your riches will come to you. Be grateful to them. They will bring you into a harmonious relationship with the good in everything, and the good in everything will move toward you. Well, there's a lot going on in the world, and everything seems to be moving faster and faster. It takes practice to sit still, to give thanks, to be calm, and to quietly be grateful for all the blessings that you have and the ones that are still coming to you. The easiest time, of course, to do this is first thing in the morning and in the quiet just before you drop off to sleep. Repetition of what you prefer, what you want, giving thanks and praise for life, for all the blessings that you have, for your five senses that you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But remember, your pets also have five senses. As a human being, you have been gifted with six intellectual faculties: intuition, imagination, perception, will, memory, and the ability to reason. Sit quietly and block out your five senses and focus on giving thanks for your beautiful intellectual faculties, for your talents, for your skills and abilities. You have everything inside of you to draw to you whatever you desire. Give thanks for it already being part of your life. Because if you have a conscious idea of what you want, if you can see a picture of the good that you desire, it is meant for you. Those are the coming attractions of your life. Give thanks for your desires. Be grateful for everything that's going wrong because it will strengthen you. But stay focused on what you want. Give thanks in advance. Practice this over the weekend. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.